So Rob Rob
I'm not
Liefeld.
familiar. What's he do?
He is the artist who created Deadpool and several other characters. There. Recently, we kind of discussed this last week a little bit with the Daredevil versus Wolverine. Not last week, but a couple weeks ago. But Rob Liefeld is the person who created the characters of
See Cable back
Deadpool and
there.
Cable and a couple others. And
Executioner, maybe?
I think it's Executioner. Yeah, perhaps maybe somebody. I don't know. He created several. Um, so his quote, and I'll read it to you. We are treated like shish. No one wants to say this, but we are treated terribly even after all these years. We are the George R.R. Martins and Stephen Kings of our business. Try to make stuff without us and see what happens. And again, I think this is goes along to just not getting the credit that he thinks he deserves. I'm not sure like where he's like what he wants, I guess.
Well, it's just like everybody, dude. We all just want a peace, like a nice, comfortable peace.
Well, that's what I don't understand. He sold these characters because, and I'm not 100% on this, so don't quote me, but I'm pretty sure these characters were sold to Marvel when they were with Image, which Rob Liefeld started with several other independent artists, and they became kind of the third big comic book company in the country.
What's he saying about people being ignorant and willfully dismissive, as Marvel is?
Okay, he says, I have some other films in development right now, and I can tell you that the other studios I work with aren't as ignorant and willfully dismissive as Marvel is. So I think he's talking about the studio, not particularly the any one particular person. Just the
No, I mean, what are they talking about?
Well, I'm sure that they have a lot of caveats on using different characters and, you know, I don't know. I just assume it had something to do with the licensing. I don't know. Your guess is as good as mine. So, but, I mean, I just don't know what, because again, when you sell these things to another company and then that company or whatever makes them billion-dollar properties, what?
Yeah, but I mean, you forget the creator. It's like Marvel created it.
Right, which again, I think that's what he's saying. So he's saying like, you know, Marvel didn't create Deadpool, I created Deadpool, right? And you know, but again, I don't know where he's coming from in the regard that I don't know what he wants. You know, does he want residuals?
It sounds like when he says we are the George R.R. Martins and Stephen Kings of our business, it sounds like he would like something, recognition or money equal to those people.
Mm.
Like those are household names, but not this guy.
Yeah.
But Marvel is. We all know Marvel.
Yeah, that's a good point. And I mean, again, it's a situation where, of course, I want Rob to get the credit that he deserves for creating some of these characters. And I don't think he just created Deadpool. I think they had a list here. Let me see if I can find it. It was up toward the top.
Well, he also talks about it. He's not just saying it for himself. He wants more creators to get, you know.
Sure. And I think that's why, if you recall, he made the comment about wanting people to go get the Absolute Batman comic with Bane, because this is the guy that also created Bane, I believe.
Are you sure?
No.
I don't think
maybe it's a different guy. And he says here, when he broke into the business, there was an avalanche of new characters: Cable, Deadpool, also Venom came into play, Carnage, Darkhawk, Night Thrasher, Sleepwalker. New characters were just coming out day after day because you had these creators that were able to dictate how they wanted their characters to be created. It's pretty simple. And
Well, it's also like the movies and stuff, not the IPs, the big money, not going into new, unproven characters.
right, exactly right.
Just
That's
like
why
there
you
was
don't.
that one. I read an article about the movie Drop, that Drop movie that came out, and
Yeah,
how it was failed,
yeah,
how it was a new idea, and it's just the people don't want new original stories.
yeah. And I mean that's a great point. I was shocked when Dread got made. I was like, how the hell did that happen? You know, I mean, who brokered that deal? You know,
And when are they going to get Dread 2?
again, I love Dread. I really hope that they do a Dread sequel and that Urban returns. He clearly gets the character.
Yeah, that's
If
an
you
incredible.
yeah. If you want to read some of Rob Liefeld's recent work, Youngblood #1 is in comic shops today. But tell us, what do you think about Rob's stance on creators having sold their creations to these big companies like Marvel or DC, or even situations in which maybe it's a situation like, I don't know, Star Wars, George Lucas selling it to Disney? What should the creators be able to retain from their creation? Let us know what you think, and we'll see
Well,
you.
I mean, you got to
Oh,
think about Deadpool. Like, if they bought Deadpool, how much you think they bought? When do you think they bought Deadpool? What year do you think that was?
probably, I would say late 90s, probably.
And now he's like in movies making billions.
Yeah.
So it's like, I don't think they paid as much as they should have probably back then.
Well, and that's probably true, but I guess at the end of the day, the question is, does that matter? Because you sold it. So it's the same as if, you know, you sell me a short story that you wrote that you don't want or you don't think is worth that much, or I offer you a certain amount of money for it, and you know you decide to go with it and do it that way. I don't know. I mean, it's an interesting question because
Well, I mean, when he sold it, though, was there it's not the possibility of an MCU billion-dollar movie franchise?
but I'm saying, but they didn't know that either. On the
I know
Marvel
that's
side.
what I mean. That's what I'm saying.
Well, and again, you present a good point. Is like, do you go back and retroactively pay Rob for what? For I mean, or do you just do they get a percentage? How should it work? I'm not saying how it should work. I'm asking because
I don't know. I think if it makes enough bank, there should be enough bank to pay people.
Well, I mean, again, I'm sure
I
there
always
are.
say, dude,
There
it's all
can't.
it's all the profits.
Again, there can't be non-residuals going to Rob Liefeld for that character. I'm sure there are some kind of residuals.
We hope. I don't know.
Probably not enough, but I mean, especially considering the amount of money that Deadpool has made Marvel. But I can't imagine that there is nothing that he gets for Deadpool or Cable or any of the characters he's created. I just think he's saying, you know, we're the ones that made it. Don't forget that. That's kind of how I took it. I don't know. Let us know what you think. Do you agree with Rob? Should creators get paid after they've sold projects? Should they not? Tell us what you think in the comments, and we'll see you in the next video.